Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.
PM Gruevski meets with Serbian counterpart Dačić. Macedonia's PM Nikola Gruevski held a meeting with his Serbian counterpart Ivica Dačić, in which they discussed the existing exceptionally good friendly relations, mutual commitment and readiness to deepen and advance good neighborly relations aiming at prosperity of both countries and the region. Gruevski and Dačić agreed a joint session of both governments, which according to Gruevski will give further momentum to both development of the Serbia-Macedonia relations and the moving forward of projects both countries find important. According to the initial agreement, the first such session would take place in Belgrade in May. Dačić explained that the sessions will not include all government members, but just the ministers in charge of those sectors the countries consider important for bilateral relations. President Ivanov visits Qatar. During his visit to Doha, Macedonia's President Georgi Ivanov held a meeting with Qatar's Emir Hamid bin Khalifa Al Thani, in which they agreed on setting up a Macedonia-Qatar Mixed Economic Cooperation Committee and opening an embassy in Skopje. Up until 3 years ago, we had no bilateral agreement with Qatar. Following the intensive contacts, the legal framework between the two countries has been set up, and in that direction, a memorandum of understanding in the area of tourism has been signed today, Ivanov stated. The Macedonian presence and the Emir discussed Qatari investments in Macedonia, with Ivanov stating that interest was expressed in cooperation in the area of higher education and culture. Name talks under UN auspices resume in New York. UN mediator Matthew Nimitz will hold a new round of meetings with Macedonia's and Greece's negotiators Zoran Jolevski and Adamantios Vasilakis respectively. The UN Information Service reported that Nimitz will first hold separate meetings with the two negotiators and will then have a joint meeting. The invitation for further negotiations comes in less than a month after Nimitz's visit to Macedonia and Greece. He underscored he felt encouraged from the talks in Skopje and Athens and said he would boost the dynamics of the negotiations in New York. Nimitz underlined that the focus of the talks would be to further discuss ideas that are constructive and that he hoped some progress would be achieved. I presented several ideas and received some reactions. I have the feeling that both sides have higher interest and pay serious attention to possibilities to find a solution, stated Nimitz after his visit to Skopje and Athens. Defense Minister Besimi holds meetings in Brussels. Defense Minister Fatmir Besimi met NATO Deputy Secretary General Alexander Verzbo and NATO Assistant Secretary General for Emerging Security Challenges Gabor Iklodi during his visit to Brussels. NATO High Representatives saluted the contribution Macedonia has made in the international peacekeeping operations and the readiness it showed to participate in the support to Afghanistan after 2014, as well as its achievements in the field of reforms of the defense sector. The meetings are part of our intense agenda to continue the lobbying for NATO membership and present the reforms Macedonia has implemented in the defense sector, as well as preparations for future contributions to the alliance peacekeeping missions, said Defense Minister Besimi. Deputy Secretary General Verzbo said Macedonia must have functioning democratic institutions. The open political dialogue is the way to overcome differences, and the country must be focused on important topics, such as the progress in the Euro-Atlantic integrations, said the Deputy Secretary General. Opposition protest continues. The MPs of the joint opposition have filed charges with the Skopje Public Prosecutor's Office, accusing PS Trajko Veljanovski of abusing official position and authorization on 24th of December. Hence, any initiatives for external, domestic, combined, alleged committees to further establish the facts is nothing else but those who ordered and carried out the events of the Black Monday running away from responsibility, Citizen Igor Ivanovski said at the protest staged by the Alliance for the Future at 3 intersections in Skopje. According to him, someone must be held both legally and politically responsible. He added that this was a good test for the new public prosecutor Marko Zvrljavski to immediately act upon the charges.
Macedonia in English. Just about everything you want to know.